Welcome to Capture Culture, where worlds collide, creatives thrive, and the beat never dies. We're your hosts. That's Adam.
What it do?
I'm Alex, coming fresh with a mic check and thanking you for the time you're about to invest. Man, I am chilling in my robe right now, dude, like I'm Tony Soprano.
We are both chilling in our robes right now, sir.
Yeah, man.
Self care. They call it. They call it self care, right? Sometimes you gotta just chill in a robe, put some slippers on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, most definitely, man. I feel like this is like a spa episode today. I was telling you we need the cucumber on our eyes, maybe a little face mask or something. Just self care.
I must admit, I wasn't in a robe, and then I saw you in a robe, and I was like, I need to put on a fucking
Yeah,
robe. So,
yeah.
good
I
call.
love to just I love to pimp it in my robe, man. I think like that's kind of what I'm known for. Like going back to even like when I used to sling some weed, I didn't even realize it, but I'd go outside and like deliver it and I'd be in my robe.
I mean,
And
I didn't
that was
realize.
like my that was like it was like my thing.
I didn't realize that's what you were known for. I've known you for like 15 years. I've never known you to be a robe wearing connoisseur, a robe connoisseur. So.
Oh, I am.
Mm.
This is nice and like soft. It's fucking warm. Is the season.
What's
I
the
mean, it's been like dumping rain and snow and everything, dude. Cali and Nevada lately.
what's
Like, what's
the
up with that? It's a cold world.
well
Cold world out there.
it's been raining out here a lot. It's been raining out here for the last 3 days, pouring rain. um it's kind of crazy because my dog won't go shit outside. you know he won't go shit outside.
Because
He's
it's
just
all because
because it's
it's
pouring.
raining.
Yeah, because and he just will look at me and I'm like, what, go outside, and then next thing I know, I'll find a turd like on the little mat by the door. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? So, I mean, he's trying his best, but he's not trying to get soaked. He's a tiny little dog.
he doesn't like the water, huh? Does he go swimming
He
when he's
does.
around bodies of water
He
or
he
what?
has gone swimming before. I don't think he likes it very much. I think he panics a lot. When it's drizzling, he'll go out, but not. I mean, this rain is just pouring, man. It's just
So he's just been turding
yeah,
in your pad
yeah.
this entire time. And you put in like you put in you should put mats out at least,
Well,
like those like urine mats or whatever,
yeah.
like for dogs and shit
I,
too.
I've been thinking about that, but he's well trained. He knows that
Yeah.
he's not supposed to do it. Um,
Right. You don't want to get comfortable shitting in the house for
yeah.
sure.
Definitely, yeah. That's not the plan. And then have a mat stinking like piss in the house. But
Uh,
at,
good luck.
yeah, I mean, I love my dog though. He's a good boy. When he
Nice.
needs to go to the bathroom, I have a little piano that sits out front of the window. It's like a
Mm.
sliding glass door, and he'll just play the piano, and it dings, and it lets me know he needs to go outside. You know,
That's so funny, dude.
yeah.
It's like smooth jazz piano music that just like loosens,
It's
like
it's
everything just gets it ready to take a shit.
it's a xylophone actually. It's a little like a it's a kid's toy. It's a children's toy.
It's a little Beethoven.
Yeah. And then when he gets back in, he hits it again to let me know, hey, give me my treat. So yeah,
He's the boss.
he's the
He's the
boss.
boss, dude.
He's the
What
boss.
what's new with you, bro? What's been going on lately?
Ooh, man, it's been a let's say a month, and it's been a year. It's been quite the year. 2023 has been
Mm,
quite the year so far. Um, well, let's just get it out of the way. I'm on probation officially. Official.
probation. It's
Yeah.
official. When did this start?
Well, I started getting in trouble with Johnny Law when I was a yee lad.
All right. All right.
No. Uh, it started last on September 15th. The day before my birthday, I got pulled over in the middle of the night. I was driving, I got pulled over, and I got arrested. It turned out I had a warrant for my arrest. Um, and
What you do,
and they
dude?
were well,
Did you a warrant for your arrest?
yeah.
Is it like jury duty or
I
is it something a little more
don't,
major?
I don't,
Is it something a little major
I
than
don't
that?
think they give out warrants for jury duty, but
Skipping jury duty.
yeah, I'm not sure. Um, let's just say it was for a white collar crime. Um, and just
White collar
yeah,
crime.
just some shit I shouldn't have been doing. Um, and pretty much they wanted to talk to me. What pretty much what happened was I went to court. They let me know the evidence that they had, and I pled not guilty. And they let me know like what more evidence they had, and they're like, here's why you're not getting away with it, you know.
You sure about that?
Yeah, pretty much what happened, you know. And I went back and I told them, look, you know, like I've got the restitution money, I could pay that up front, you know, and you know, I understand what I did was wrong, and I'm not trying to. I'm done with that world, and
Right. I mean, should you even be talking about this legally? What would your lawyer
oh
advise?
well, well, this all over, right? This is kind of, I mean,
Right.
it's been a whole 6 month process, almost September. Yeah,
Right.
6 months. So what happened was they wanted to give me 90 days, in jail, and that would have been 45 days with good time. And I'm a good boy. I'm gonna behave. I'm not gonna fucking wild out in jail. Um,
Mhm.
uh, and or they wanted to give me 2 years probation. I went back. I told them, look, here's the restitution money. I'm very sorry. I fucked up. Yes, okay, I fucked up, and I pled guilty. And they gave me 1 year of formal probation. And when
Okay.
and when I
Avoid that jail time.
with no jail time, with no jail time,
No
yeah,
jail
no
time.
jail
Right.
time.
Yeah.
And after that 1 year, if I followed through my probation, they turned the felony into a misdemeanor, and I go on to informal probation for the next following year. So,
Okay.
and it
So
sucks.
2 years probation total, and then
Hmm.
1 year full.
Hmm.
So you're a felon right now. Being a felon sucks, dude.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
being a being a felon
Wow.
sucks. Like what did you do? Can you talk about it? Like I know what you did, but like, do you want to
I
talk
don't know if I
about it?
want to
Is
talk
it
about
does
it,
it is
man.
it a is it a crime involving a computer?
Well, yeah, duh, it is. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we could just leave it at that. So
well, then that
you
could be
just
like,
doing.
that could be lots of things, dude. That could be,
Oh, I get.
you know, but
All right, all right. I guess I'll allow you to clarify
yeah,
then.
I guess it was a financial crime.
As you're ch- as you're ch- as you're chilling in a white robe, too, like talking about this.
Financial
Is what is
crimes,
the
man. Like, yeah, pretty much I got into some things I shouldn't have got into, and had access to things I shouldn't have had access to, and made
damn
purchases I shouldn't have purchased.
some hacking dark web shit or
I
what?
mean, I don't really like to. I'm not a hacker or anything like that. I just like computers, you know. Um,
Dude, how do you think that's gonna get you by with the ladies? I think you can do good when you tell them you're a felon, you're on probation. You're probably gonna get a lot of ass right now, dude. You got to work that angle.
you think that
You got
you know what, man?
you got to work that bad boy angle.
It does not. It does not do anything for my confidence, man. You know, being on formal probation is a lot harder than it sounds, man. It's I've been on formal probation before. I've been on probation before, informal probation before. I'm sorry. I've been on informal probation
Mm,
before, and that was easy. You know, you just don't get in trouble, and it's over. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Formal probation. I have a probation officer. This motherfucker
mm.
comes to my house. You know, comes here, looks
Well,
around,
yeah, no
goes in my
shit. You're on
room.
you're on probation.
I
Yeah.
have to call every single day to a drug test line. I got to call this phone number and put in a
Uh,
code every day and see if I get called in for a drug test. If I am called in for a drug test, I got to go in and piss that day. On
mm.
top of that,
What are they
the
testing?
most
Are they
demeaning.
testing for I don't want to cut you off. Are they testing for marijuana? I just need to know,
Oh
like, do
yeah,
you need to
so
stop smoking weed during this
no,
time? Because you thought you could smoke weed, and I was like, you probably
I
can't.
can 100% smoke weed.
You
You
can't?
can.
Oh shit. Can.
Can, yeah. The
Nice.
thing is, they can't make it illegal. It's not illegal, you know. So,
Okay.
um,
All right.
um,
So that's not that bad. That's not that
what?
bad. If you could smoke weed on your formal probation, how bad can it be?
No, that's here's the worst part, though, bro.
All
When I go
right.
into
All right.
drug test, okay, I gotta
Yes.
take my
Yeah.
pants down past my knees, Okay,
Okay.
with some kid. I've done it 2 times already. Some kid standing right there looking at me.
Why you got to say kid?
He's
That's
a
very
fucking
weird,
kid.
bro.
He's 19, 20 years old, maybe, you
Damn.
know,
All right.
and staring at me, giving me 5 minutes, dude. The first time I couldn't even go. I
Yeah, he's literally looking
looking
right
at
at your
my
dick.
dick and ass and everything, dude. Looking at it,
None,
just like,
there's no more fake wieners that you could
and no,
get.
dude.
Like,
And he's like, and
for the,
I'm just like,
there's,
bro, and I'm this uncomfortable laugh, just like, and I had to go so bad, dude. Like I had to
you're
go,
gonna
you
implode on
know,
yourself.
and I
Right.
could not go. And then you have a 5 minute time limit, you know. After 5 minutes, you
Right.
fail the test. So man, I couldn't go. My first time, I couldn't even fucking go, and I was like, what the fuck?
So you failed the
Because I
test,
was
or
pee
like, what did they
shy.
do for your first
Well, I
time?
was pee shy.
I mean, that's got to be a thing, though. You can't be the only
Right.
person that's like, you got to get used to
I'm
this. This
not.
is not like your everyday life, and all of a sudden now this is. Now you got someone staring at you while you pee. It's weird.
So my second time when I went, um, this time I peed a little bit, like I can get a little bit in the cup. And it's the
Okay.
same kid, and he remembered me and everything. And man, it's just demeaning as all fuck. It's just it
Yeah.
hurts, man. And then to think like, oh, to chase pussy after that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, that's a, you know, I'm all right, you know, for now, at least for a year. I'm gonna try and try and
You know, you should just like your next girlfriend, like to help you with it. You should just have her watch you pee while directly
man,
into your dick to
I've
like get you
look.
used to this. Get
I'm
you
a
used to
freak,
this.
dog. I've done. It's not like that's a new thing. You know what I'm saying? I've done shit like
No,
that.
I
You
know.
know, like I've done it. The
I mean, that's awkward, bro. It's awkward.
what? It's
It's
very awkward.
definitely. I mean, no.
Pants
Yeah,
down
yeah, of
my
course.
by my knees. You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest part because I'm like, it's just,
But at least you're not in jail. You
yo,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's true. That's true. But if I was in jail, I would have
So
been done with it by now. I wouldn't have this fucking thing to deal with. But it would have been a month. It would have been over by now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you would have had other shit to deal with though in jail. Like you think? I mean, I don't know. I've never been to jail, thankfully. Like I'm proud of saying that. I've never been to jail. I try not to go. You know what I mean? Not really, not really a place I'm trying to book in the
I
summer.
mean,
You know what I'm saying?
county
But
jail is. I mean, you could get really involved, or you could just not get really involved.
I
You
would
know?
just imagine though, like you could be tested. Even someone might want to fight you. So even if you go in trying to do good time, you might still get into
Yeah,
altercations
dude.
that like extends your time there, which could suck. You know what
Yeah,
I
you
mean?
can get jumped
And
for sure. I got jumped.
yeah,
I got
exactly.
jumped.
And somebody like me who is not like about that life gets into jail.
Oh, it does,
I feel like I'm gonna get
bro.
tested.
Nobody.
Even if I keep my head down and not even like try to get into it, I feel like I'm gonna get tested. And like where do I belong? I'm a shaved head Middle Eastern,
Hmm,
but I'm Catholic,
hmm.
so I wouldn't go with like the Middle Eastern Muslims. I
That's
mean, the whites won't take me. I mean, maybe I could try to get in with the blacks, try to spit like a freestyle or something. No, that's stupid to say. But like for real, like I'm saying, like there's nowhere for me to go. I'm kind of an
well.
outcast.
So when I went to jail, they asked me up front as soon as I went into the vestibule, which is like the holding area for all the guys. They're
Yeah,
like, "Who do you want to be with, the others or the blacks?" And the blacks were the Muslims, you know, and the
right,
others are, you know, the others, but these others were
right.
all Vietnamese. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys were all Vietnamese. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not black, so I'm gonna go with the others, which was the biggest mistake. I should have went with the black dudes because they're way nicer. They're just cleaner.
Right.
They they s- they're just better people. I feel not shit. That sounds horrible, but I feel like
Well, let's say this to help like back you up on this. It's just like I feel like if you're actually in going to jail,
mhm.
your mentality is that you're trying to be strategic about it. Like you're going into survival mode, and jail is like gentrified in its own right when you get in there for sure. It's broken up into little communities and people that it is.
I guess what I was trying to say is that the black Muslims are, you know, just that Muslims. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they have a little bit more code of ethics, whereas the Vietnamese others, would be up all night gambling, playing cards, being loud in my bunk, like right underneath me, or
Mm.
for instance, I got jumped by my people, by my own people, when I was in jail. Um, I
Because I feel like you got to commit. You got to commit to your people, your crew. It's like it's all or nothing, and if you don't commit, then you're not with
I
them,
mean, if
right?
you plan on being in there for a long time, but
Yeah, I guess that's prison too, not
yeah,
jail. Jail is kind of a
I
different kind of roller coaster, bro.
my mentality in it is I'm trying to get the fuck out of here as soon as possible. I don't want any friends. I don't want to make. I don't want to know anybody. I don't want to talk to no one. I just want to eat my food, read a book, and go to sleep. That's it, man. And like,
There you go.
you know,
So you're on this formal
yes,
probation for
sir.
a year. So what else does that entail other than
So
the piss test? So are you checking in every night? Do they know where you're at every
yeah,
night? Can you leave the state?
so I have to ask permission to leave the state. I
Okay.
have to ask permission to leave the city. In fact,
Mm.
it entails this guy popping in on me whenever he wants, and keeping a job, holding a job, steady income. If I get
You gotta get a job.
no, well, I gotta have a
You got a
steady,
job,
yeah,
right?
gotta have a steady
You gotta
income,
have
just
you
gotta have
gotta
income,
prove
right,
steady
right.
income.
And
All right.
then also, if I get any contact with any police officers, immediately got to contact my PO and let them know. If a police officer contacts me and finds out I'm on probation, which he will, it's an immediate search. They'll search me for sure. If
Mhm.
I'm with anybody that is also on probation, that's a violation, considered a violation. And yeah, if I violate, I could do up to 3 years, which is the scary part.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, dude. You gotta be on the straight and
yeah,
narrow for
for
sure.
sure. Yeah.
I mean, like even like leaving the city, you got to be like cautious of like taking that extra exit on the freeway just to go pick up some food here or there. You know what I mean? Like every little
Yeah,
thing.
I check.
It's not like house arrest, I'm assuming, obviously,
Well,
right? They don't have like an anklet on
no, no,
you.
no.
They're not necessarily tracking you, but
Yeah, so when I
yeah.
went to piss test the other day, I was sitting in a waiting room, and it was the first time that I was sitting in a waiting room, and I noticed, I'm like, why is this gonna take forever? I got shit to do, like, and these guys around me, they weren't sitting around waiting to piss. They were sitting around charging their ankle bracelets, bro. Like they have to go in
Mm,
there and charge their ankle bracelet every day, which is it's like you're sitting next to it's like I thought this dude was charging his phone,
wow.
but they're charging I noticed they're charging ankle bracelets. The three guys around me. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, damn.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I'm
Like that's another way to keep them tapped in and checked
yeah.
in is like you can't charge it at home. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like you got to go there to charge it. I didn't even really think about that. I thought like you would be allowed to charge it at home because it's house arrest.
Right.
But that makes sense. They just make sure you're like still local.
No, it's they don't want you in your house though. They want you like in programs. They want you where you
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's true.
saying? Like, man, I could not leave
Right.
my house forever too. You know what I'm saying? Like I could sit in my house and post up, but I don't that's not what they want.
Can you paint a picture of your PO officer? Is this
Yeah.
like a big intimidating dude?
Yeah.
Is this like
Actually,
some scary motherfucker? Like do you look at him and be like, yeah, I can't fucking play with this guy.
so well, the immediate first impression I got from him was he seemed to be interested in cars. Like I have this car tattoo, and he commented on that. He wanted to know what type of car I drove, and I told him I got a Camry with almost 300,000 miles on it. And he was
Mm.
like, he went off on that, like, oh yeah, you could buy 3 Camrys for your entire life. Camry's so good that he just seemed to be very into cars.
I drive a Camry.
Yeah, Camrys is the shit, man. Um,
Yeah, so he seemed to be into cars. You think that's a tactic to, get to know you, get you to feel a little
it,
comfortable with
it,
them and
it
like,
seemed like
you know what I
it
mean?
seemed like genuine interest. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because like in sales, you try to develop a genuine interest with your customer, so they like you, so they're fond of you, and then they're more likely to buy from you when they like you.
well, I mean,
So
not to say that I don't think that he would be strategic about these types of things, but um,
you don't?
I really don't think he gives a fuck, man. I think he's just to me, to him, I'm
Yeah.
a job. Like it's his job. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
just a job,
Like,
huh? He ain't trying to save your
right.
soul.
You know?
He ain't trying to do like he's not trying to therapize you,
Yeah,
be
exactly.
your
He's not trying to
therapist.
be my best friend, but he just wants
I
to
got
see
you.
like that I'm following the fucking rules. One of the few things, like he came in to, like I had to sit outside with another officer, which sucked, man. Having two full ass police officers in full vests come to your
Mhm.
door, and you know what I'm saying, and knocking on your door.
Right.
It was hard, man. It was kind of like shit. That's a tough one to swallow. And then I have to sit in the living room with one officer while the other one goes in my room, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, I they're gonna go through my drawers. They're gonna pull things out. You know what I'm saying? The dude just came in, looked in my room, and he's like, "Oh, so you're an artist?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir." You know, from the other room. And then 2 seconds later, he just came out and he's like, he told the other person was like, everything looks good, and just left. I don't think. No, I'm not trying to violate. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I've got.
No, don't,
You
dude.
know,
Don't be stupid and do 3 years. I mean, what's gonna happen to capture culture podcast? You get what I'm saying?
calling in,
Can't record.
calling in from fucking. Yeah, you know,
You know what we'll do? You
phone
know what
check,
we do is
phone check, bro.
I'd write you, and you'd write me back, and I would read out your letters to our
That'd be so
audience.
sad, bro. Jesus Christ. That'd be so
We'd
sad.
give our audience your mailing address, so like all like 20 people that listen in could mail you
Yo, by
in.
the way,
No, just
if
we
anything
got
like
more.
that
We got
ever
more.
happens, feel free to replace me with Brendan or
Yeah.
Edwin or one of the other many guests that we've had on this wonderful show. You could
Right.
replace me with the
The
co-host.
show must go
Yeah,
on. The show
exactly,
must go on,
exactly.
right?
Um,
So what do you think is going to be the hardest thing about your probation to not break? Is there any rule that you're really like, man, this is going to be tough?
yeah, the fucking taking my pants off every day. Almost every day. The drug, like the calling in for the.
You're going to get used to that though. You might not see that
I
now,
don't
but
think
you
so,
got a
man.
year of
Like I
doing
don't think
this.
so. Like
You got a year of doing this. Nah, you'd be like ready to go,
I
man.
really, I really hope.
No, you'll probably
I
be
really hope. Like the second time I did it, I played a podcast. Like just because you're not allowed to turn on the water or anything, I just played a podcast just to have, because it's awkward silence, man. And I know this kid.
Do you
Yo, it's like he
do you
has
feel like do
what
you
type.
feel like you got to clean up? Do you got to feel like you got to clean up down
Yeah,
there
dude.
since you
Yo, the
got so
first time I
many
did it,
people looking
I
at
had
your
like a
shit?
hair like on my shit, and I like pulled it off and like flicked it onto the toilet seat. You know what I'm saying? I was just so embarrassed. I was like, damn, yeah. I got like lint.
Bro, you got dreadlocks on your head. Like, well, yeah, you have these like dreadlock pubes. You're like,
I
oh
do.
fuck, this
No,
ain't gonna
they're
work.
not dreadlock pubes. It's just lint from my boxers, bro. Dreadlock pubes. That'll be. I mean, that's
So now you're keeping it nice and
uh,
trim.
yeah.
So
Always keeping it nice and trim, man. Man. But
shit, you might as well wink at them next time you're taking a
you know
piss.
what, man? And here's the thing: is like I'm like looking at and I'm like he must.
You got to find the humor in it.
I wonder is like, does he? What is he thinking? You know what I'm saying? It's like, is he thinking like I got a small dick?
Yeah, that's his
Is he
job,
right?
though. That's
Right.
his job.
Right. That's his job every
That's his
day.
job. Like
How many
that
multiple
you
times a
that's
day, dog? You know?
dude, that sounds like what do you call it when you work for free? Intern. That sounds like an intern job. Like make the fucking
I
intern look
maybe,
at these guys' dicks as they
maybe,
piss.
possibly, but think he may I think he may orient that towards men. He may be homosexual, I think. Just because he had a few tendencies a little feminine that were a little feminine. Um that's a
Maybe he's just trying to make you like feel okay around him. Maybe he doesn't want to be this hard guy looking at your dick
dude,
peeing.
I
I don't
would
know.
prefer almost a hard
Dude,
like you know what I'm saying? Like I
how much
almost
you
feel
think
like
he
this
gets
guy's like
paid to
sizing
do
me
that
up like
job?
he's like almost
How
disappointed when
much
I
you
take
think
my pants down. I'm just like
how much
fuck. You know?
What if you're trying to sneak in like one of those fake dicks and piss? He's like, wait a minute, where's the mole? Where's the mole?
I remember a mole, you know? No.
I remember the
Or,
mole being exactly two inches away
or,
from the tip of the
you
penis.
know, like, because the first time dude, let me just tell you, the first time I went in there, I did shave it up. I was like, well, you know, it's been a little bit of a dry spell for me. So, you know, like I haven't really been worried about it. But the first time I went in there, I was like, when they told me that I have to do
The
it,
bush, the
yeah,
bush.
I had to like do some manscaping, you know, and you know, so I was definitely well aware that someone's gonna be looking at my dick, and I told him before I pulled out, I was like, if you don't mind, I'm gonna fluff it up first, you know, and he's like, that's perfectly cool,
That's awkward,
but
dude. That's
I don't
awkward.
want it
Fluff
to
it
come
up.
out like, you know, when my dick's little, it's little, you know what I'm saying? It's not like fucking, you know,
It's all
I'm a grower,
natural,
not a
baby. It's all
shower, dude.
natural.
It's just, you know, anyway,
That's
talking
funny,
about
dude.
dicks.
That's funny. So look. You committed a computer crime. Okay, you were doing some shit on your computer.
Mhm,
So when your PO
mhm.
comes, are they doing like some kind of like search into your computer? I mean, you're doing all
No,
of this capture culture
right,
podcast on a
right.
computer. Did you have to give them
I was
access to your
very
IP or
worried.
what? I don't
I
even
was
know.
very worried that I would have to give them my devices, my electronic devices, because I would definitely, I mean, I would have to wipe everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I've definitely got
Well, like in yeah.
some
Well,
questionable
you should. Well,
programs.
you should. I don't even
Well,
know what you're waiting for.
I
They didn't do it now, but that doesn't mean they
well,
won't do it.
it's
So you
not.
really
I
should. Maybe they're trying to trap
no, it's
you
in.
and make you get back into your habits.
It's in the probation. Actually, it says that I have to forfeit any search and seizure except for any electronic devices. So they're not allowed
Hmm.
to touch my electronic devices. But I'm not allowed to.
Well, if I were you, I would still. I mean, if there's anything questionable, I don't know why you're holding on to it.
Um,
You got 3 years on the line. You got three
yeah.
years on the line, right? Like, why? I don't even know what you're talking about,
Well,
but like,
because
why keep it around?
I don't know if it's questionable as far as. I mean, I don't know if they would, because one of the things he's like, when I told my PO, you know, what I was in trouble for, he was like, "Oh, ha ha ha! Don't hack my bank. You know, like I've got no money in there. You know." And and I was like, "Bro, I'm I'm not I'm not doing that. I'm. It's just
It
I've got so
develops. It
many
does give
other
you,
things on my computer, and to wipe
yeah.
everything would be I have to do it, but I have to organize everything first. I'm not ready to yet, but I have to do it. You're right. I'm gonna do it.
You really should. I just realized, like, being labeled a hacker,
I'm not a hacker.
like, automatically makes someone like
Yeah.
untrustworthy when people hear that because you just don't like it. Automatically puts a shady cloud around you, like instantly. And I don't think, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like you're shady or whatever. I'm saying like if anyone were to say that, right? Like I think you even talked about bringing like a hacker maybe on Capture Culture here and like interviewing them and talking about them, but like
Oh, you remember?
it's just instant. It's instant. Like just dishonesty. You can't trust them, and guards are up. But like
That's not true.
that he's
That
he or she's yeah.
that's not.
Well, that I mean,
I mean,
it's an invasion of privacy, right? So you're just instantly kind of like taken off by it.
well, there's a lot of different forms, um, and
Yeah, I'd
I
imagine
think
how
I
serious
think
it is. If it's just trivial or if you're really going after like some sensitive information or whatnot, for
well, I
sure.
think like what you're kind of mixing it up with is a scammer. Like I'm not a scammer per se, you know.
Hmm.
Um,
You kind of ran a scam though, right? A little bit.
no, never.
We don't have to talk
I've
about
never,
like I know the story.
bro.
You don't think like you could label what happened in your situation a slight scam?
No. If
Adam,
look, I had
Adam,
access to things I shouldn't have had access to because I got to things
you don't think you were running a little
no,
scam? Come on, buddy.
buddy, no.
Come
And
on,
like, just
buddy.
don't sit here and persecute me and fucking You
I'm
know,
not. No, 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 no.
like
I'm not. I'm
first of
just
all,
saying you're labeling yourself not a scammer, and I'm
purely
like,
allegations, purely
eh,
speculation, all allegations. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to deny all of it, and
for sure.
you know, like, look, man, I was doing my due diligence on my research and just testing
Yeah,
my abilities and seeing how far I could go, and unfortunately, it wasn't that far. Yeah,
right. Or too
yeah,
far,
well, yeah,
depending on how you look at it.
yeah. You know, definitely learned
So,
my
I mean,
lesson.
you're a bright dude. You're a bright dude, bro. I think one thing that pisses me off the most is you have these tools and stuff, and you just got to harness them and use them the right way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Like you just need, what you need is a mentor. You need someone that like knows the shit you know, but has been there and done that and like mentors you into how to harness all of that and like really make a good profit
Mm.
legally off that
Ye-
shit. Cause you do got a lot of skills, bro. You got, you pretty much like work all of this capture culture stuff when it comes to the video and doing this, doing that.
That's pretty simple stuff.
And you
But
you edit photos, but you know how to use like the OBS system, and you fucking self-taught yourself how to weasel your way into certain things online. So it's impressive.
uh, well,
Self-taught. And you made beats, right? You made beats,
yeah, I'm definitely good with
right? You made music
programs.
and you self-taught
Yeah,
yourself all that
yeah,
shit,
I'm
right?
definitely good with
Right.
programs and learning a program and learning about the way a program works. Unfortunately, man, like in today's day and age, everything runs off a program now. You know, and
So what's keeping you, man? What's keeping you from like finding a career path in all of this?
um,
Like I know
fucking
working
good
a
question,
nine
bro.
to five
Because
sucks, right? Working 9 to 5 sucks. Having a boss sucks. No one wants to answer to anybody. There's a lot of stresses that come with being the boss too. But like, why don't you go after it? Like, what is holding you back? There's something holding you back.
because I want to do something that I love doing, man, and that I wake up
But you
doing.
love doing that
I
stuff.
don't love
I'm
doing it.
saying,
No, I have so much anxiety doing this shit, man. Like I would oftentimes, man, I don't even want to say it on here because I'll tell you later though. But I'd look at something and I'd look at the person and I'd be like,
mm,
I can't do this, you know, and I wouldn't, you know, and just because I see the things that this person was going through in their life, and I'd be like, man, God will be too angry with me if I fucked with this person, you know. So
but I'm saying like even like a web developer, you could do
I
shit
don't
like
want to do
that
that
too,
though, man. I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I want to do shit like run a robe company with you, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the shit
Right.
I want to
Dope,
do.
dope rope.
Dope rope, dope robes. No, yeah,
So
dope
me, I
rope.
mean, like, just you don't. I know you live in the now,
Mm,
but what about the future, dude? As you get
yeah,
older, like having that plan set forth, because our parents aren't always going to be
right.
around, and you and I both uniquely are going through things, and with our family and our pops specifically, with cancer and stuff that kind of threatened us,
Yeah,
right? Threatened our foundation for a minute,
yeah,
right? And they're both still here, God
right.
bless. But you know, I'll tell you what's going on in my life, man. I mean, I'm kind of my midlife crisis, right?
Wow.
And I say crisis like it's a beautiful mess. I'm a mess, but I'm not like super bad. That's me being overly critical, but wanting more out of my life,
Mm.
right? Like that's just what it is. It's like what's the next step, right?
What's your
So
What's your biggest
so
fear?
well, biggest fear. I mean, everyone's fear is like just
No, you're
fear of
specific.
failure. Biggest fear, dude. I mean, after the accident, like honestly, being in a car is always like a understanding that it's a life and death situation all the time now. Like that's part of what I've been going through even recently in like
Yeah,
trying to deal with trauma and still process trauma is like that's a big fear of mine. And you use a car every day. And I hate being a passenger in a car, but you're in a car every day. And now I realize like the fragileness of everything
mm,
and how could all happen in a blink of an
right.
eye. So I'm not behind the wheel like super freaked out and panicked, but it's there, right? And you learn to live with it. But that is like an underlining trauma that I deal with on a daily basis. And I'm like coming to grips with that and to terms with that. And
That's
but
scary.
for Alexis's birthday,
Mm,
yeah, for Alexis's birthday, it was on February 18th, right? We had a good night, man. We had fun. We did a little Molly. We drank, poured some drinks, had just some fun at the house. We put the vibes on, music, everything's going good and lovely. And I wake up the next day, and the next day is her actual birthday. So that's the 19th on a Sunday. And I feel like shit, man. Definitely super hungover, right? I'm thinking it's just a really bad hangover, but I have like horrible heartburn all day. Like I just can't get rid of this heartburn. I'm feeling nauseous in like waves all day. I'm not really eating much. But I'm pushing through. I'm pushing through. I'm trying to have the most of it. It's her birthday, right?
Right.
So I'm like going through this day. We go to Cheesecake Factory at night for a nice dinner. I take about 3 bites of my dinner and I box it all up to go because I really can't eat. And then Monday comes and I'm still sick and I'm still
Damn.
nauseous and I still have this like weird stomach gut shit. Okay. I'm like, all right, I'm old. 2 day hangover. Okay. That's what it is. Molly, the drinks were hard. You know, as you're feeling good, her hand pours more heavy and heavy. She's a heavy pourer. So these drinks were hard. So I'm like, all right, this is just a 2 day hangover. I'm 36, it's hurting. Tuesday comes, still bad, dude. Still bad. Like I'm feeling like shit. And now I'm feeling like there's something stuck in my stomach, like solid stuck in my stomach. And I feel like any bite of food I try to eat like has to like go around this thing, like something's trapped in there.
Bro,
And now I'm thinking stomach
go to
ulcer.
the doctor, dude.
No, no. So I'll tell you, man. I mean, it's initially, I didn't think it was bad to go to the doctor, but I was going to monitor it. So now I'm thinking it's a stomach ulcer. So I start Googling all this shit and I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. Cause I know like when you feel something like that, you just know something's not right with you.
Right.
So, right. So I'm like Googling it and I'm like, yeah, this is a stomach ulcer. This makes sense because I have this, that, and that. So I start Googling all the healthy foods and natural remedies I could take to try to help this. Because if I try to schedule a doctor's visit, I know it's going to take like a month anyways.
Bro,
So I'm on it. I'm on it right away.
no, that's not
Yeah.
true. It's not gonna take a month, bro. Come on. That's an
Well, I'll
excuse.
go.
That's just an excuse. You're telling yourself that it's gonna be a month because you don't want to
Well,
go.
so I've treated it. I've treated
Mm,
it. So now
better.
I'm feeling really
All right.
good. I'm feeling much better. Now I'm just eating clean. Everything's clean. Um, I'm making these smoothies in the morning because banana is good for it. So I mix banana, apple, coconut milk is good for it. Put that in there. Honey, raw honey is good for it. So I put raw honey. I'm starting to eat more salads. I'm cooking more.
How often are you drinking?
Right. So I'm feeling better. So I gave up alcohol. It's only been 2 weeks, but I'm going to give it up. We have friends coming over this weekend to stay. Almost bought a bottle of red wine for myself,
Hmm.
but decided like, no, I'm just going to stay away from alcohol for a minute.
Yeah, good.
But the thing is, so I say midlife crisis because the thing is, it's not just the alcohol and it wasn't the drugs, which I thought it was. That just happened to spark it. That doesn't happen overnight, right? I've been a mess in like my lifestyle and my diet and how I take care of myself. Just it hasn't been good. It hasn't been up to par, dude. So it was kind of like a midlife crisis and realizing like I really got to take care of myself. My mortality is really like it's real. You know, I got tested last year. It let me know. And now as we get older, like health is wealth. And like we need our health.
Okay.
I want to be able to move fucking proper at 80, you know? And so it was an awakening, dude. And but the whole week, I just felt super emotional. I felt like, I just kind of felt lost. I felt like a mess. I felt literally like you're hurting. Your core, your stomach is your core. So like literally my core was hurting. And I did that to myself. I did that through years of hurting
What is the
myself,
stomach ulcer, though?
right?
What is the stomach ulcer? Like, what do you,
I can't really get into it too much because I'm really not a doctor. I just Googled it, but
mm,
there's just like, there's heartburn. There's a bunch of stuff with your gut. It's your gut and how it processes food. And,
I get heartburn all the
and
time.
it's like the lining. It's like the lining of your stomach. So you probably have like a stomach
I
ulcer,
wouldn't be
right? And that's
surprised.
leading up to
Yeah,
it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Cause yeah, man. Cause I've had heartburn for a while. And like I said, my habits have been bad. So I've been trying to break habits. Like that's really what I've been trying to do lately and just like my mindset I could feel like is like kind of refreshing itself. Cause for this whole year and for a while, I really haven't felt like myself. I'm very like uninspired, right? Even like look at Capture Culture podcast, man. We love doing it, but it
2 episodes
it
all
stopped being as consistent as it once was. So I'm like really trying to find that inspiration, and I feel that coming out now,
Mm.
and I feel that coming back. But what happened with my week, man, is like I'm in this dark place. I'm emotional, not super dark, and I'm not necessarily emotional because of sadness. Sometimes like the massive idea of what life is and all that life comes with, like the highs and the lows, like it's like so overwhelmingly magnificent that I get emotional sometimes. You know what I mean?
Like,
And it's not like a panic attack. It's like a goddamn. Your chair is creaky as fuck, by the way. Every
sorry,
time you move, like, no, but
like you get
yeah, man.
scared,
So
or you get more of like an emotional
no,
overwhelm, like a beautiful kind of thing.
it's not fear. It is. It's a mix of sadness and just like it's a mix of sadness and happiness, and also just trying to figure out life because now it's like the next step for me. You know, I also have a job that I don't like many Americans. You know, and it's about trying to figure out what's my next move and how do I turn what I love into something profitable as well, or not. It doesn't even have to be about money. I heard a quote on a podcast called On Purpose, and the guy said that we feel burnt out. Some people think they're burnt out because they're working too hard and they're doing too much, but really you're burnt out because you're doing too little of the things you love to do.
Yeah, I've heard that too, though. It's true.
You
Very
know,
true.
so that really stuck with me, and it was like it's so true because when you don't do the things you love and you don't get that release and that euphoria and that like innocent fun that you have doing the things you love, it doesn't re-energize your battery. So I'm trying to do all of that, man. But also when I was in the car driving, I'm like, what do I need, man? And the answer became obvious to me. It was instant, man. It was like I need God. I need a
Mm.
spirituality in my life. I haven't been feeding my soul. I've been worried and trying to like fix my mind and my body, but it's mind, body, and soul, and it's the Holy Trinity. And I haven't been to church in a long time, like 7, 8
You
years.
know
And
what,
I went to church last Sunday.
bro?
I went to church last Sunday and I hit up, these acquaintances we made out here in Vegas. Thank you. It felt great, man. It just I wanted to be around like-minded people, spiritual people, just people who are trying to work to be the best versions of themselves and give nothing but good energy back to the world. It's like why wouldn't I want to be around that? And I needed that. And I live in Sin City in Las Vegas, so I haven't been since I moved out here.
You know what, bro?
So I went to church. Yeah.
It's very funny that you say this to me right now. Um,
Mhm.
the last month or so, I've been like some guy came up to me the other day and just handed me up. He walked like across the street somewhere, handed me something, a piece of paper, and I look at it. It's like
Uh-huh.
Jesus. It's a Jesus uh, uh, brochure. It's like a brochure for Jesus, but it's just
Wow.
reminding me about God. And then what had happened? Anyway, like I've been having all these little reminders about God, and
Mhm.
how I've also been thinking about like, man, I need to face God almost, like um,
Right.
I need to go speak with, you know what I'm saying? Like, or just pray. I need to pray.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Pray,
I
yeah.
just need to pray. Because I haven't done that in a long ass time, man. I haven't prayed, you know?
Mm.
I've been watching this.
So easily neglected,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
and it does. And
It's real.
before you get back to your thought, every time I go to church, dude, I always leave feeling good. And I don't go a lot, but I always leave feeling good. And it's like I smoke weed because I think it feels good, and I do that often.
Yeah.
Like, why don't I go to church just as much? Like, because I always leave feeling good. So I'm starting to go. I can't, I'm not gonna make that promise and be like I'm gonna be there every Sunday,
Right.
but I'm going again this Sunday, and I plan on going next Sunday. And the honest truth is, like, I actually can't wait to go back on Sunday. Like I'm waiting for Sunday for church.
Yo,
It used to be I'm waiting for Sunday for football. Now it's like I'm waiting for Sunday, for church. And I'm going from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So it's like I get up nice and early. It's beautiful in the morning. It's like it's literally like food for your soul in the morning. It's breakfast for your soul. And
just
yeah,
just
beautiful.
just a thought though. That church's doors are open 24/7, just in case,
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah, no, I know. I know, and I'm taking baby steps, but I think eventually it'd be cool maybe to like volunteer or help out there or be part of a
Uh,
community,
uh, right.
and like maybe join a club or something like that, or but I'm just taking it baby steps and one day at a
No,
time.
I'm
So
saying like, well, I don't really know how Catholic churches work. But
I went to a Christian church.
oh, was it a Christian? Are you
It was
Catholic?
actually a
Are you
Christian
Catholic or
church.
Christian?
I mean I'm raised Catholic.
Mm,
I'm raised Catholic, but I mean I just believe in God. You
right,
know what I
right.
mean? I just got a spirit, and I go to Christian church. And I reached out to my friends specifically because I seen them when what they post, and it's like they got the band, and the band is just singing. It's on stage. It's not like a traditional church like
Sermon kind of thing.
pews,
Mm.
pews and sermon and like all that. It's like they got a band on stage. They sing music. It's all chill. The vibes in there are casual. They got they're serving coffee up in the front like it's Starbucks. Um, so I picked that church specifically just for the casualness of it. And the people that I know, they sit all the way up in the front to the right. They know the pastor. They introduced me to one of the pastors there when I was there. And they're like, it's his first time. And it was cool because he was just a super, like, just cool, regular guy. And he's like, yeah, man, just be who you are. That's all we want you to be. It's just like, be who you are, do you. And he's like, we're not going to throw Bibles at you. Just like hang out, whatever. And it was chill. And it's like I've been carrying like a weight on me, dude. Whatever it is, I just be carrying a lot. We stress a lot, we worry a lot, we think too much sometimes. At least I do. And it's like all this weight. It's like it just gets relieved. But taking it to church for the first time, like I was nervous. That's what I was trying to say. Like it was a weird, like there were weird nerves. Like I was a little like shy, quiet. It was almost like being a little kid going to school for the first time. Like it's but I instantly felt like welcomed and at home, and it was relaxed. So definitely will be going back.
That's really
And
go ahead.
yeah, no, and a cool thing that day. So first time I'm going back to church, right? Years, 7, 8 years. They were doing baptisms at the end of mass. And I guess they don't really do baptisms that often because I asked my friend, I'm like, how often they do this? She's like, I don't know, maybe once every 6 months or 8 months. And the day that I went so happened to be baptisms. And one day I do want to get baptized again when the time is right and I feel like I'm ready because I was baptized as a kid being Catholic, but I want to do it again as an adult as like a rededication because you go through this fucking wild journey in life, man, and the devil tempts you, and it's not like I'm a perfect person. And we've talked about this, right? We've just life is always going to be a war between your mind, body, and mind. So,
Yo, man,
uh,
I think it's really beautiful,
so
man, that you
yeah.
you had a question that you were asking yourself, and you were like, man,
Mm.
why the fuck do I feel this way? And then you
Yeah,
found an answer, you know,
instantly.
and then you acted on that. You know what I'm saying? I think, and then you acted on it to the
Yeah.
point where, man, sometimes when I think of like church or God or religion or being a Muslim or um, I think of um, authority. I think of almost dorkiness a little bit. I think of
Mhm.
it's like very goody goody, not fun. You know what I'm saying? Very strict. At least as a Muslim, like
Right. Right. There are a lot of places and churches and mosques. I would imagine they are like that. They are strict like
right.
that.
Um,
And then there's a lot that's not.
and to me, it just seems like being a Muslim, right? It's extra. It's too much for me. Like it doesn't even work for my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even fuck around. I
Mm.
mean, they they'll say that they're Muslims, but like they still eat pepperoni on
Right.
their pizzas. They still drink. Blah blah blah. Um,
Right. It's just what they relate to.
right. And I almost feel like because I know that it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like Islam is beautiful, but I don't know if it's necessarily something that I could hold up on my shoulder. I just don't know if I could follow the rules and do it justice. So I don't feel like that shuts me out from God, right? But
No, not at all,
but
man. That's why I always say like I'm careful when I choose my words. Like I say like this, I get my spiritual teachings. I just get my soul food from like Christianity and Catholicism just because that's what I was raised in. It's what I know.
Yeah.
But one, you don't have to go to church to get to know your own God. Having a conversation with God is in your head and in your spirit at all times, right? But church is awesome. Church is where you could kind of like go, or wherever it is you do go. It's just where you go to get re-energized and get fueled up again when the tank is running a little low. And you know, energy from people is a real thing. It's a real thing. You got to be cautious of the energy you get from other people as well. So if I go to work Monday through Friday and I'm around coworkers and it's stressful and the energy at work is that we're all working, we're all there for the dollar, just getting by. And that's all I know. And that's like the energy I'm constantly putting in my soul. When you go to church, it's like a completely different
Community.
energy and atmosphere and ambiance and community. And like, let me tell you something, man. These people that like go there. Like life isn't all peaches and cream, man. People aren't like singing kumbaya and they're like life is so amazing. Like these people are just like you and I going through shit, man. Going through shit and life is hard and we make mistakes. And everyone's just there though to get guidance and be there for one another and like celebrate that love and that passion to get better together. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like that community together. So it really was good. And every time I go, I'm like, why don't I go more often? And it was cool, man. Like that morning, it didn't even have like that morning I woke up was the first day I ever like I felt good in a week like physically because I was sick all week with like what was going on. Like literally, I was sick all week, and that was the first day I felt good. And there was snow in the mountains all around. Like the landscape was beautiful. Fucking snowed out here, but it was a clear day as I'm driving to church. Like the skies are blue. There's just gorgeous white red mountains in the background. Like the backdrop was beautiful. I haven't seen these friends in a long time. They're older than me. They're like they made a joke at lunch or breakfast. We found out they're even older than my mom, but they invite me out to breakfast with them, and they're great people. It was great to see them again, and I haven't seen them since the accident, so we're just all catching up and stuff. And so I'm going to go again this Sunday. But it was just like the birds were chirping. I don't know if you remember, man. I told you like lately, music hasn't even been hitting me,
Mm.
right? Like, not. I remember I was telling you like I'm just driving home at night, sometimes in utter silence, like nothing new, no music's coming out. My playlists aren't really hitting. They're not touching me. Nothing seems to like.
Yeah, I remember.
Nothing has flavor.
Yeah.
Nothing has flavor right now, right? And now it all got flavor again.
Dope.
Now I could taste. Now I could taste again. You know what I mean? Like I'm listening to all like just all this great music and feeling it and music with substance and like feeling it and like allowing myself to get emotional during certain parts of the song. It'll come out of nowhere, man. I don't know, like I'm just in touch with my emotions right now, like for real. And I'm just working on that mind, body, and soul. But now music is great.
Dope.
And and
Dope,
yeah,
man.
dude, it's just a good feeling. You started this episode saying self-care and in our robes, and I'm really taking that to heart right now.
Yeah.
Like I wanna live good and I want to be healthy for a long time, man. And that means like mentally, spiritually healthy as well. That all types of health is what I really want to feel
Yo,
like.
man, I'm gonna follow your lead, man, and actually, I feel like I'm very proud of you right now, man. I'm like, man,
I, I appreciate that, man.
I I think it's the right thing to do right now. It's the only thing to do. And
100%.
and you almost were asking about my future a little bit earlier, and I didn't really have an answer for you, because I don't necessarily feel like I I have an answer or a future.
Mm.
Um, but
You think a part of you is being self-destructive? Because that's
mm,
with me. Like that's some terms I had to come to terms with too, with myself, with like just bad eating or whatever. Like, is a part of me just being self-destructive? Like just almost like, if it comes and I die of this, then whatever, that's my life. But that's not a good way to
I mean, here's
think,
the thing, man. My little brother, he's a doctor. My father's a doctor, and they've been telling me
Mm,
go get your fucking colon cancer or test or this and that, and
yeah.
get your insurance and this and that. And I'm just like, man, I just maybe like yeah, in that way I'm a little self-destructive where uh I don't really I let my anxiety almost win out most of the time, and I guess that's a little self-destructive. Most of the time whenever I'm late, man, at Chili's, or it's just an anxiety of having to be in front of people, having to talk to
Mm.
people, and
But you don't come off like that, which is crazy, right? Isn't it? It's the ones that seem so outgoing sometimes that got inner demons or just well, not even demons, but like feel like they're
well, I
um
definitely have a social anxiety.
yeah,
It, it,
yeah.
it my stutter is bad. I've got speech impediments. I have a lisp and I have a stutter, and I kind of now I'm fucking.
It's just probably all the drugs you be doing.
I don't do drugs, man. I don't,
Well, used to do maybe.
yeah, come
Used
on,
to.
man. Like you're like
No, I'm just
you're out
kidding.
here
You're
incriminating
not like
yourself
some drug.
and
You're
me,
not
bro.
like
Come
some
on.
druggie. I'm the one that said I did
Yeah, I
Molly
know. I was
recently,
like,
right?
your mom's gonna hear that, maybe,
So
possibly, But I
then that's the truth, man. That's the truth. But we have, as you get older, you have a better relationship with your parents. It
true,
becomes more of a honor system type shit.
true.
I'm not their kid anymore.
Yeah, and
Well, I'm the kid, but I'm not the baby.
I feel like I'm trying to get my dad like on this weed shit right now. I'm like, yo, come on, smoke some weed, man. Like, let's come on, sit down with me and smoke
Yeah,
some weed. Come on, smoke some
yeah.
weed.
My dad won't
He
either.
won't. He won't fucking touch it. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like, what? Like, you take Xanax all the fucking time. Like he pops so
Yeah,
many
isn't
pills.
that crazy?
He pops so many
Isn't that
pills, and it's
crazy?
like, dude, just sit here. And he complains about the food don't taste good. I can't find anything good on TV to watch. Fucking, I just need to chill out and relax. Like every little thing he complains about, it's like, yo, weed will fix that. Like weed will
It's
fix that.
bad propaganda, dude. I know, right? My dad's the same way. But when he eats like the CBD gummies or whatever, he loves them. But like he really ain't fucking with weed
He
like
ain't fucking
that.
with the high
You
of it,
know,
or like I.
he won't know. Like I mean, I'm not trying to get him all stoned out of his mind, but like there are times um, where yeah, food doesn't taste good to him. It's really hard for a cancer patient to
Yeah,
eat. So easy for us to sit there and be like, eat, eat. You got a big plate of food, especially when you know what their appetite used to be like when they were
right.
healthy, and it hurts. It hurts. Like my dad's frail right now, dude. He's lost so much weight. He's put a little back on, but goddamn, did he fucking lose a lot of weight fighting cancer? You know what I mean? He fucking lost a lot
I'm
of
so
weight.
sorry to hear that,
And
bro.
you look at his, yeah, man, it's tough. It is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and be, oh, it's all good. It's tough. Like cancer affects the whole family.
Yeah,
Like you know
all
that.
right.
It affects the whole family, dude. And when you see people you love, like just become, I don't want to say less of who they are because they're damn strong with everything they have to deal with. It's a shame to like say that. It's just they're a shell. It's kind of like, they're a shell of what they used to be for sure.
I mean,
But he wouldn't touch weed, man. We're trying to get him to smoke, get an appetite. Like you like food, or just eat these edibles just so you get hungry. Eat the food, man. But old school Jordanian, man, he ain't gonna do that. He
yeah,
ain't gonna touch
my
it.
dad's Afghan, and he's, Kandahar. Fucking, he's not. To him, I feel like what he says, he's like, well, you and your brother fucked me up. Like the shit you guys used to like, because of you guys, I don't want to smoke it now. I'm like, that's such a cop out. Blame it on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Just I want you to enjoy your life a little bit. Fucking smoke this shit. But
Right, man.
I don't know, man. Like to me, I had a point. Like I forgot what I was saying, but there was a reason why I brought that up specifically. I just want to enjoy life, man. I'm just trying to enjoy life, and do the right
That's what
things,
it's about.
and
There's got to be a balance, though. There's got to be a balance of enjoying life and also planning for a future, or just setting yourself up right. So
enjoying life.
that's like,
Right. Go ahead. Sorry.
that's what you're trying to navigate. And shit, dude, we're middle-aged men now. You know what I mean? Like we're getting up there in age. So like, there, it is a turning point in life where like you do kind of you start experiencing new things and you have to grow again. You don't, you can't be stuck in your ways all the time, especially if they're bad. And a lot of us have those bad habits. So it's about breaking them and feeding yourself what's good.
I just watched the documentary on Lex Luger. Okay, you know what happened? Do you
Hmm.
remember Lex Luger, bro?
Yeah, I remember
Do you
Lex
remember
Luger,
how?
the
Yeah,
wrestler.
you remember how big Lex Luger used to be?
Yeah,
Um,
huge.
huge, dude. Right?
Arnold Schwarzenegger looking like, kind of,
One day he went on an airplane, fell asleep, woke up paralyzed. Woke
Damn.
up paralyzed, right? And
Like there wasn't a fucking accident.
no,
He just woke up
woke up
paralyzed.
paralyzed. Woke up like this big ass
What?
bodybuilder wrestler dude. 5,000 5,000 matches. Fucking woke up paralyzed, and his body diminished to the point of where he's in a wheelchair, and his legs are like not there. Pretty much, they're like little shrubs, and
Mm,
he used to be a huge prick when he was young, and big and fit. And now he's the sweetheart of a man and always smiling and super nice to everybody. And he attributes, and he says he's happier now, or I don't know if, I'm sorry, I don't know if he's happier now, but his happiness now is attributed to God, or is attributed to
mm,
God showing him the way, you know um
mm.
and and to be a wrestler, right, to be very body, all about your body, all about your looks, to be that,
To feel strong all the
right,
time.
and then to lose that, and he said something, he was like, God, show me how to live like this, because I don't know how to live like this, so I mean, I don't know why I'm
Right.
talking about it, but I just watched it and I thought, like, man, imagine losing everything you have, and
Right.
still
Everything you
still
love
having the will to stay on this earth, stay here.
to go on.
Yeah.
I know, man. That's you got to be grateful all the time. You really do. And we're human. It's okay that we fall in those ruts. But like, I hate doing the dishes. I hate fucking doing the dishes. Right. I hate dishes, man. I love to cook. Hate the dishes though. That comes with it. But I clean. I'm very punctual about it and shit. But I hate the dishes.
Mm.
Right. And I mentioned that because like when I was hurt last year and I didn't have the ability to do the dishes. You get what I'm saying? Like I didn't even like I might hate them, but I didn't even have the
Right.
ability to do it. And that was a different type of hate that I felt there. That was a different type of feeling when you didn't even have the ability to do it. So now, when I'm feeling like, oh, motherfucking all these damn dishes, I think of that. I do. I remind myself of that I'm even lucky to be standing
At least
here
you could do that.
right now,
Yeah.
and the dishes is what I'm doing. Like life could be so much more worse. Me cleaning dirty dishes mean that I had a blessed meal and I had a good meal. Like that's how I got to look at it.
Yeah.
Like,
It sounds like we're growing
you
up,
know,
man. This is like, you know what I'm saying? Like what you just
it's
said is like so, like on the dot. It's just so perfect. Like
right.
it. That is what it means, and it is a blessing, to be doing the dishes. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
fuck. I need to think of. I mean, like I need to think of it like that from now on.
Truthfully.
Like it is. It's yo. You're 100% right with that, man. Like fuck.
Right. Dude. I'm telling you, man, ever since last Sunday, I've been like, I feel like I'm back to myself and my mind is getting back there and back into a positive spot, creative spot. Like eating healthy is something I truly want to do and I enjoy doing now. Like I'm not craving the bad shit. And let me tell you something, man. Devil comes in all shapes and forms. The devil for me is like a crumble cookie,
Ooh,
okay?
bag of
A,
Doritos.
de- a, the devil for me is
A
like
croissant in the morning.
it within that moment,
Hmm.
right? Like since I've been eating clean, I've been tempted with bad food at work. It's been around me. Alcohol is always, in the script. I'm trying to do something with the homies soon at work because I don't have homies actually. So I want to go see John Wick later this month,
Why?
right?
In the theater?
Because John Wick is in the theaters because it's badass, and I haven't been to the theaters in a long time. And John Wick is a fucking movie theater movie.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
movie theater movie. But Alexis hates that shit, so I can't go with her. So typically, man, my mindset is like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna go to the theaters and watch it. I'm not gonna go by myself, right? But I was like, nah, I need to network more. I really need to make an effort more. So let me invite the coworkers. Let me
Yeah,
see if all the homies want to go. Let's go shoot some pool.
yeah,
Maybe go fucking bowling. Let's go see John Wick.
bro.
And they're all down, dude. And they're all down. So I made myself a little mandate, hopefully
That's what's up,
later
man.
this month. But again, it's just like little steps I'm trying to do to help grow and like help
Hey, man, what
just help my life more,
you
be less stagnant.
you and I, met each other at a workplace. You and I met each other at Chili's,
Right. I have a lot of good friends through work.
and man, I feel like the people that I've met from your work through you have all been all good people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, amazing, dude.
um,
Amazing people. For whatever reason, I haven't made that same commitment to relationships moving out here to Vegas. I guess I was just more focused on getting my life established here and with Alexis and giving her the proper attention. But it's gotten to a point now where I do have to like, and she wants this for me anyways, is to make friends. Like I don't like leaving my wife at home by herself and me out having fun because we live in a state where we don't really know anybody. And it's weird to be at home by yourself, you know? It's just it is. I didn't think so too, but when she's out and I'm at home, it's just like a weird feeling. It's not a good feeling.
yeah,
So I try not to do that to her, but now it's like there's gotta be some give and take. And she's not arguing that at all. But so that's my step
bro.
in that direction. Try to
The guy,
to switch it up.
the guy you
Mhm.
got into an accident with, um, do you still talk to him? Have you talked to him since? Are you
No,
no?
no. And but there's no hard feelings there,
Mm,
you know. Um, there's a power, man, in letting go of things. Like really letting go, not holding on. I'm really not one to hold a grudge. I'm not one to hold a grudge. And I also accept responsibility somewhat of that situation in that night, of not just not even putting myself in that situation. Forget getting in the car with him. I should have been good enough to know I shouldn't have let him drive even,
right.
So I didn't want to sue him for that reason. And some people didn't understand it, but that's really what it is. It's accepting self-responsibility. When I met up with my church friends recently, they're telling me, oh, go after the insurance company, sue, 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 blah, blah, blah. And it's not like I'm not. I got a lawyer and I hopefully got something coming my way, but I'm not like in it for the money and the payday. I realize my back is gonna fucking suck for the rest of my life,
Yeah,
probably.
you're gonna have that
But
trauma as well for the rest of your life, man.
trauma for the rest of my life. But here's another church quote, man, just because it just presented itself right now in this situation, what we're talking about. The pastor said, hurt that isn't transformed is transferred to other people. So I'm trying to transform all the hurt that I've been through. That's the journey of it, and that's the beauty of it. It's made me realize a lot of things. But I let go. So I let go. I didn't hold on to any grudges with him. I didn't he's just not in my he wasn't like a close homie anyway. He was dating my coworker at the time. Okay. And now they're not dating, so I haven't even really seen him.
Mm.
Wish him all the best. No hard feelings, but you can't hold on to grudges as well.
Um,
And
there was a Bible verse that I heard on television, and it went something like, "Where there's darkness, let me bring light. Where there's fear, let me bring safety. Where there's
mm,
hatred, let me bring love." Like pretty much, and it really resonated with me. And it seems like you're already on that wavelength, man. Like you're kind of a man. Like I gotta say, man, it's very. Uh, I'm looking at you and be like, I'm like this is something that I want to do too. Like this, like putting on the robe, something.
yeah, man.
Uh,
Yeah, right.
so
It's funny how that worked, right? Yeah. Like, hey, in your own way, you got to do what you have to do to get better in your own right, right? Like whatever church is for you. I mean, I'm inviting you. You ever come out here? You want to go to church with me? Come to church with me. This is not like me trying to convert anybody right
no,
here,
yeah,
because
no,
with me, it's very like I'm not going to push my spirituality, religion on anybody. All I'm going to do is talk about my own personal um,
you,
life and my, everything I've actually been through. And you could interpret it in any way you want to interpret
right.
it and take it however way you want to interpret it. But I'm not perfect, dude. I still, in my head say like, man, fuck everybody like 5 times a day because I work with people. I just like life is still stressful. Like I'm not a
Right.
perfect person, but I am working on it and I am trying to work on myself and self-care and take the necessary steps to break habits as well, man.
Well,
To fucking habits are hard to break, dude. They really are.
yeah, you can say that again, man.
It's so easy to sit and give people advice on their life but for you to actually implement advice you would give yourself to yourself is way easier said than done.
Yeah, that's something that I'm often telling people how they should live their life, but you know, fucking could not for the fuck of me. You take my own advice, So, um,
I feel like we're both in positions right now, bro, where we're looking at where we're at in life and how can we turn it around a little bit and make it better. Like we're not horrible people,
not at all. Yeah,
we're good people. We're just trying to be better versions of ourselves every day, right? And yeah, dude, I mean, if this is a midlife crisis, it's not so bad because
yeah. I don't think you're having a
it's
midlife
like
crisis yet.
I know how to psychoanalyze myself. You know what I mean? I really am smart like that.
Right.
Like I could,
You checkmate.
I, I'm checkmate,
Right.
man. I've done it before in past, like identifying an issue or a problem with myself and really trying to break it down and get to the root of stuff. But I guess you asked me what my biggest fear is, right? My biggest fear right now is just knowing that my biggest challenges are still ahead of me. They're still ahead of me. Like I know like my biggest challenges in life have yet to come.
Hmm.
And that's kind of scary when you've lived 36 years of your life, and you've been through challenges already and emotions and all types of things. I what makes me scared, and it's a healthy fear. It's not like I'm a scared fear. I'm gonna tackle it all head on and with God and all that stuff. I'm gonna tackle it all on. But that's the scary thought. My biggest challenges are still ahead. So
Dude, I mean,
that's life. Life's never going to be easy. That's also a realization I've come to. It's like no matter how hard you work and no matter what little nest egg you save, sometimes something comes up, whether it be money or relationships or turmoil or whatever the
death.
case may be. There's always going to be friction.
Hmm.
There's always going to be friction, and you just got to be ready
When
for
you
it.
say like my biggest hurdles are ahead of me, it makes me realize like, yeah, I mean, I haven't really dealt with shit yet, like really. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
dealt with really nothing, like my parents are still here. Um,
Mm.
my dog is still here, you know what I'm saying? Like I haven't really, I don't have any kids, you know what I'm saying?
You've dealt with some
I've
trauma,
dealt with
man.
trauma,
You
but
you've
like
dealt with some
my
trauma. I mean,
biggest, but yeah, and it's scary, right? It
yeah,
sucked. But I mean, when I think about it, it's like, oh shit, the biggest ones are yet to come. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
they're on the horizon, but oh, I've got to be strong enough to deal with it when it does. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I
Right.
couldn't deal with it. Right, I couldn't deal with any of that shit. Now, I couldn't deal with having a kid right now per se. Like I couldn't. I'm not ready. I know I'm not ready. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Anyway,
You're not ready till it happens. I mean, that's just like in a fight. You don't know what you're made of till you're backed up to a corner.
yeah.
You I mean, I think you're capable of great things and you could tackle it on. And that's how I feel about myself too, but it's okay to feel vulnerable at times. It's okay for life to seem humongous to you at times because it is, dude. It is. People toss around that phrase mental health like so much, but it really is like at the forefront of everything right now. And we as a society been through a lot with COVID and just the world changing on the fucking drop of a dime like that, and through social media and all this technology, like we're all going through a lot and mental health is a lot
Um,
and it's okay, but you got to be cautious of it. You got to pinpoint problems and pinpoint characteristics about you that you don't like, and you got to try to figure it out and fucking work on it. And
I feel like
I don't know. I mean,
when you and I say
that's
mental health, right? I mean, it means one thing, And then when I see clips like that one dude up in Oregon who was on the college, on fire. He had He was I don't know, I'm sure he was having a mental breakdown, but he was on fire,
Mm,
running around,
right.
and people you could hear in the video are saying like, should we should we what did they say? Like, should we call the police? Or you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like just being like
They're
lost.
filming
They're
it.
filming
They're
exactly. You know
filming
what I'm
it,
saying?
but they're not calling the
Or
police.
putting
Yeah.
him out, bro. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, they're trying to help.
Like you fucking help this guy because he's not all there. You know what I'm saying? And he
Yeah.
probably can't
Some of
remember.
it could be shock and awe though, like deer in a headlight type shit
Bro,
too.
if someone's
When
on
you're seeing
fire,
that,
you
like
gotta like, I mean, help that
shocking.
person. You know, like help throw
Very.
water, something. You know, like I don't know, man. Like
There's all types of. Hey man, that's horrible. But there's all types of levels to mental health. But most of us deal with anxiety and stress, and we do deal with social anxiety. Like you're not the only person to feel the way you do when you go out and you're having to talk to a bunch of people. Like that is a real thing, and it's just uh it's just something you always got to work on. And I do believe mind, body, and soul helps all of that. Like it all
you're
is
right.
hand in
Yeah.
hand. It's all hand in hand, and for me, I've always tried to work on my weight. I've always tried to read a book for my mind or something like that, but I was missing like the spiritual growth. Even though I was believing, I was missing that. So like I feel like that was almost a missing piece. And like
You've got a
that was.
crucifix on your or
No, I know, yeah, because it's not like I found God 2 weeks ago,
right,
right?
right.
Like I know it wasn't that I found God. It was that I decided to start talking to God again. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it was like, let me get God on the phone type thing. And let me reprogram it in the speed dial type shit. And now it's just about
What
doing what
what
I
do you think
just being consistent.
what do you think was the thing that took you took him off speed or her or took God off speed dial? You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Well, yeah, it's just life, man. Moving out on my own, moving to another state, not taking the time to sacrifice for that time, being lazy about
No
it.
resentment towards it, no
Um,
anger, nor no.
no resentment. And I am spiritualist, so it's not like I haven't dipped in it. We had the spirituality episode, you and I talk about it. So it's not like it hasn't been there,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it was like the act of going to church was like the act of like me really like
Acknowledging.
wanting this and wanting and acknowledging it and ready to like put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you're an NBA player, you're not going to step on the court and shoot like Steph Curry right off the bat. You got to go to practice. You got to put in that work. That's how you build your craft. And spirituality is the same stuff. If you really want to be stronger, it's just like any other muscle that you work out. It really is. Like spirituality is like any other muscle. And that's kind of all it was. That's all it was to get me out of a rut. And I was in a fucking rut. I was in a rut. Hated the way I feel. I'm like heavier than I've been in a while. I've been feeling like fucking shit, like literally feeling like a mess. Like I cleaned up my beard, I just trimmed it down, like took a nice shave, just wanted to like feel good again and feel like less of a beautiful mess that I am. So
You are a
so,
beautiful mess, sir. You are. I mean, yeah, to me,
sometimes it's hard, dude. So it's hard. Like it's like a depressed person knows they're depressed, but they can't get out of being depressed. And it was like I was in this rut. I hated being in a rut, but I wasn't willing to put in the work to get out of it.
man, like when I think about you, I think about you as like you got it all, like you've got it all figured out. And
But I
I
don't.
know, and I'm learning that, I'm learning that you're just as flawed, but you hold it together very well. Um,
Yeah, man.
you,
We're all scarred, dude. We're all
yo,
scarred. But I love
you're
myself.
a man about your shit, you're definitely a man about it, man. And I don't know, man. Props, man.
That's how I
Respect.
try to carry it, man. That's how I try to carry it. Just try to be the best man,
Mm.
all around. All around, dude. So yeah, dude. That was my last couple of weeks, dude. Just going through all that, and but feeling good again, coming out the other side of it, and feeling good, ready to make more capture culture, dude.
Yes, sir. On that capture culture note, man, I'm definitely loving the I think this episode, right? This style, you know, is a little more Man, I just loved our conversation today, man. I think it was a real ass conversation. It wasn't forced. It wasn't about a
Right.
specific subject, or it wasn't about a current event. It was just me and you.
Which isn't always bad though.
Right,
Which isn't always bad. But this was dope though. I mean,
right.
this is
But
good. This is
to
what
me,
it.
this is
This is how it started essentially,
right,
right?
exactly. And to me, this
Really,
is value.
you and I on the phone having like
Right,
a conversation about
one
life
hundred percent.
led to us doing this.
Well, I've always seen it. I've always seen our conversations have like we have a we could have good conversations, and I think that I've always seen
Yeah,
that. But this, I feel like, is the way we should do things. It's easier. It's the conversation has value. You know, it offers something to people, and
I hear you, bro.
and
I hear you, man.
yeah, man.
You know what I say, man. This is a cliche saying, but it's something that I am adopting, dude. It's just one day at a time. We'll just do it one day at a
You're
time,
right,
bro.
man.
We'll just keep doing this thing, and we'll take it one day at a time, and we'll just go with the flow, roll with the punches. You know what I
You're right.
mean? It's just literally, like when I think about getting healthy, right? All in all, there's a big mountain in front of me of fucking shit I have to do. There's a huge fucking mountain in front of me, right? And a steep hill to really like achieve where I'm trying to
Where are you
go.
trying to go? What are you trying? What's your health?
But, but, but I got to take that just one day at a time. Because if I think about that fucking mountain, all I got to do is win every single day. Every day I got to wake up and win every single
That
day. You get what I'm
should be
saying?
easy for you, bro. Like you're pretty competitive. You know. I
It's like I saw a Kobe clip talk about competition, bro. I saw a Kobe clip, and it was when he was up 2-0 on the Magic, and it looked like they're going to win, and they're asking Kobe, and Kobe looks so serious. He's like, "What am I happy about? Job's not done. Job's not done." Right?
yeah,
That's what
that's
Kobe's
a
saying. Job's not
right.
done. And that's kind of like it's just one game at a time, one day at a time. And I want to get like one somehow tattooed somewhere on me, like because it's one day at a time. It's like if you're in the gym, it's one more rep. You
You
know what I
should
mean?
get a
If you're on the
20.
treadmill,
You should get a
one
24 or
more.
an 8 instead. I
Right?
feel like
Nah,
getting a Kobe
nah.
tattoo. I almost want a Kobe tattoo because that Mamba mentality is something I really respect. But
Yeah, mom,
I'm
mentality.
not a fan of Kobe per se. Like I like
Shut your ass up.
I like shit like that. Like, oh, job's not done. Like I love shit like that where
Yeah.
it's like, man, you
Right.
really and that's consistent stories about Kobe like that. It's like that motherfucker was really about his business. Like um
Oh, for sure, bro.
I love
But the approach has got to be one day at a time.
yeah.
You really got to like take one task at a time. Sometimes you get overwhelmed. Like I get home sometimes, I'm like, I'm looking around. Oh fuck! Like I got all this shit I got to do, and what I do, I'll put music on. I'll smoke a bowl. I center myself. I get my chi, and it's one task at a time. And I just go from one thing at the next, and I just get it all done. And before I know it, everything's all done. But I don't like panic over all these little things I gotta fucking do. So one task at a time, one day at a time, one step at a time. You get what I'm saying?
There's this Japanese proverb or something where I can't remember the word for it, but the idea behind it is every single day take a little, at least one little step towards your goal every single day. Just at least
Mm-hmm.
just take that one step, baby step. And
It's got to
before
be
you know it, when you look down, like you'll have climbed a mountain. So
100%, bro. Every day is an opportunity. Every day, like you got, if you're not looking in the mirror every day and saying and asking yourself, what did I do to get one step closer to the things I'm trying to achieve?
all right, Alex. So
Like, got to do something.
what's your next step?
Uh, brush up on that resume for like a new job slash career. You get what I'm saying? Um,
No, it's one step
and
though, right?
just
Just that's
yeah,
brush up that resume.
yeah,
All
exactly,
right, man.
exactly.
All
That's
right,
that's 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 what's up, man.
all right. My
And on that, dude, CCP baby, stay blessed at your best and with a solid flex.